Lillard, lethal inside the logo, feeds to McCollum, who's just as dangerous. Uncorks a three and knocks it. George into Batum, waits for the flyby and lays it in.
How about that? I mean, only average 20. You know what I mean? But because of the size on the perimeter players, you see Jones from the corner on the nice penetration.
4-3 of the season for Derrick Jones Jr. Here come the Clippers. Batum in the corner to retaliate, and he does.
Just enough for Paul George to slip that pass over to Batum.
Two-man game with Lillard and Nurkic, and a nice shot by Nurkic. Chased around by George. Gets free to fire. The tray in the air is good. His second three. Batum feeling frisky with another three. His second.
Listen.
Doesn't get much help, Lillard. Gets right to the rim and lays it in. It's a tough. Only what?
The 30, night is young. The night is young.
36 hours left of 2020. Covington for three.
And their assists per made field goals have gone up significantly.
Carmelo Anthony stepped into his wheelhouse in a little. 7 minutes off his first quarter clock, 19-16. Two playoff teams, no doubt, crossing blades here early on in the season. Paul George for three. It's good. George ISOs on Lillard, loses the ball, gets it back. Lillard loses his footing. That frees George for a second consecutive three. Clippers have had 20-point leads in each of their three wins. A great start for the Clippers. It is worth pointing out. In both wins for the Blazers, they battled back from trailing by 10 as Melo fades and fires. Melo picked up by George, two teammates in Oklahoma City. George doesn't buy the pump fake. It doesn't matter. Melo knocks it in. He has been a spark plug off the bench. McCollum, Damian Lillard. You will hear from Lillard before this game is over. Here is Jackson down the lane. Spoon feeds Zubac. He's
not able to knock it in.
McCollum. Cantor with the rebound and the putback. Everyone where he's at in his career, he's got 8 points in 7 minutes. Looks like the old Carmelo to me. Jackson counted in a foul and send that young man to the line for an old-fashioned three-point play. He's hit a three, and now that jump shot, and he cuts the lead down to 15. George accosted, no whistle, but gets the bucket.
Again, Zach Collins in that left ankle.
He hasn't been able to stay healthy his whole career. Jackson, out of the timeout, McCollum calls his own number, rightfully so, and knocks down the 10-foot, leaping rebound inside for Paul George. Kawhi for three. How about 11 threes in the first half on 17 takes here in this first half? Kawhi in attack mode, reverse layup, counted on a foul. 8. Clippers out in front. I mentioned this earlier. In each of their 3 wins, the Clippers have had a 20-point lead in the first half. Damian with 10 off the bench. McCollum rises from deep and knocks it in. And Lou. What a pass inside to Batum, and the Clippers lead 70.
To get it for 2.
11 for Batum. McCollum another 3, his 4th. Changing hands on the dribble like a grandfather clock, taking time off the ticker. Picked up by Nurkic on the switch for 3, gets it right back.
Why not? Trending in the right direction.
That said, they were a top 5 offense a year ago, just a different kind of attack. How about that clever play? He was stymied a couple of different times. 78-57. And this is now the 4th time in 5 games the Clippers have had a 20-point lead. Kawhi Leonard now with back-to-back buckets to open up the second half. Ball getting a little sloppy. A good save there by Covington, but picked off. Here comes George with Covington to beat. Gets right to the rim and lays it in. 82-57. 6 to shoot for Kawhi. Dashing down the lane. Up and in. Counted on a foul. An 8-0 run for the Clippers.
And they say, well, I haven't seen you all year.
Good job, Jim. Way to contribute.
What about that one?
Paul George on top of McCollum. You are the MVP to be more vocal during practices and during games and on the bench. A step away on Nurkic. Got it. The 3rd three for Kawhi Leonard.
Well, I like that kind of vocalization right
for his move once again. Ahead to Ibaka. Blocked by Nurkic. What a defensive play.
No. Yeah.
Lillard picked up by Beverly. A whistle and a foul stops the clock midway through the 3rd.
Offbeat a little bit in regards to their cuts. would then tend to peel back a little bit.
George, a graceful glide to the rim, and the Clippers lead 98-71. Leonard turns the corner, gets right to the rim, bouncing off defenders and leaves it
Come
home.
on, that's a freight train coming down. So I had to struggle with that a lot in my career because I got hurt my third year, and that totally changed the way I played in my.
Direct a team in NBA history after Greg Popovich was tossed from the Spurs-Lakers game in San Antonio with 4 minutes.
And she will have a team of her own. She is amazing what she's done in San Antonio. I used to cover the WNBA for many years. She is a pit bull.
A continuation of other coaches on the bench. They didn't look at it as anything different once they knew. Like Paul.
We will not have a starterless fourth quarter. Paul George remains on the floor. He has 23. Lobbed it to Zubac. Oh, my.
Reinvented offense or new offense or added to offense, whatever you want to call it, it allows him the freedom.
Guard, but what they're doing is allowing playmakers to make plays regardless of the position. Kennard makes a play for himself. Score. Either way, the Clippers come up empty-handed.
Well, man, that time got blocked by the into the bottom of the backboard.
Giles spent his first couple of years in Sacramento. Knocks down the jumper. 118-93. Sunday. Kennard makes the pass, another turnover for the Clippers. Eric Jones Jr. graceful.
Had to go to come in with that dimension, his arms out.
Whistle.
Again, it's still early, but we see a different calmness in his demeanor, in his play, coming into the beginning of this year.
Clippers and their numbers and the way that they have dominated in their wins. But because that game was so bad on Sunday, their net rating Sunday, you can look back, you can laugh at it because now we know that the Clippers are indeed back. Coffee. Oh, off the wind.
Now, if you'd have said you had some Thunderbird or some Wild Irish Rose, now I would have been
there. I've done that.
Okay.
But it was the Mad Dog 2020 was a bad day. Ellaby lays it in, counted and a foul.
Go.
Clippers will be the first team out west with 4 wins. The buzzer will sound. That will not indicate the game.